So good morning, everyone. This is week 40. I love numbers. And so it's week 40, day 280 since the shutdown. And it's December 20th, 2020. So there's a lot of even numbers in that if we added them all up. 12, 20, 20, week 40, day 280. So this is going to be an auspicious Kriya today for metabolism, relaxation, and it ends with a meditation on the self. We do our Savasana actually about 2/3 of the way through, and then we conclude with a meditation. It's a really very reflective Kriya. So let's begin by sitting up tall, concentrating on the spine. Kundalini Yoga focuses so much on the spine because the center column of the spine is called the Sushumna. All the energy, the electrical energy, the Kundalini energy is flowing up and down the spinal column. The 7 chakras coordinate with that column. So we want the energy moving freely, unobstructed. In Eastern medicine, when chi, life force, prana, when it's blocked, that's when disease forms. So we want our energy always moving, flowing, creating our well-being, our health, connecting body, mind, spirit. Quickly reviewing our 5 elements, our breath, taking stock of our emotion. What's our emotional state on this Sunday morning, or whenever you might be tuning in the future? What are your body sensations before you begin the practice? Any sounds that you may hear, make them part of your practice. And finally, the ever-present thoughts. Our mind's job is to think, and that it does over and over and over. An early yoga sutra, Yoga Chitta Vritti Naroda in Sanskrit, means yoga is the quieting of the fluctuations of the mind. So over this 70 minutes, one of our intentions is to quiet our mind. We do that with our breath, we do that with movement. We do that with intention of sitting still, of refraining from distractions that may call to us. We have all these electronic devices that we're emotionally tethered to these days. So 70 minutes on your mat gives you a break from that tethering. Bringing your hands to prayer position for the Ong Namo, Guru Dev Namo. Ong Namo, I'm honoring that creative wisdom, the creative intelligence throughout the universe. Guru Dev Namo, I'm honoring that creative wisdom inside of myself. Then we chant it a second time. We're honoring that creative wisdom inside of everyone else in this virtual space, or if you're tuning in with us later. Similar to the greeting of Namaste, I honor the light inside of you. And the third time we're chanting it for the greater world. So 3 big inhale, exhales through the nose. Inhale, Adi Mantra. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Open your eyes. Let's come into a life nerve stretch for a little warm up to begin. So I'm stretching my legs really wide, sitting up tall, reaching over onto the big bones of my leg, my tibia, my fibula, the smaller bone. Maybe you can reach down to your ankles. Maybe you can reach to your toes as soon as the fascia begins to release. Oh, these feel so good. Just stretching the lumbar spine, thoracic spine, cervical spine forward. So much practice. We're really doing something quite extraordinary to take advantage of this time during COVID, to focus on the union, on yoga, union of body, mind, spirit. Because we practice frequently, we have the opportunity to go deeper into our poses, into our mental state, into the integration. Keep trying to bend forward. The fascia will keep releasing. These stretches can feel so good. Beginning to connect with your breath. Let's bring the soles of the feet into Baddha Konasana, this wonderful hip opener. You can interlace your fingers around the toes. All the phalanges, all 20 phalanges are all together here, stretching the spine long. Maybe you can flutter your knees a bit. That was one of the poses in last week's Kriya. And let's take the legs straight out. We have this in the Kriya, so we won't stay here too long. But again, maybe you can get the hands to the feet. You're feeling both pelvic sit bones on your mat. Set an intention for your practice that you will really strive to stay connected to your breath throughout the next 60 minutes. Let's come around onto our knees, onto all fours. I love this curling of the toes under, taking that right leg straight back, trying to bring the heel towards the floor. It's such a great stretch in the pelvis, the hamstrings, quads, calf. You're drawing that calcaneus bone, the heel bone, towards the mat. Be conscious of your wrists. You're in that 90-degree bend here. If there's any pain or discomfort in the wrist, you can go to a fist, or you could come on down to forearms and still stretch out the leg. Let's take the knee down, stretch the other leg back, curl the toes under of the left foot. Keep pulling the heel towards the mat. You feel that great stretch come into play. Really great place to feel your hip. Keep breathing into it. This Kriya works with the prana, come back to all fours, and the apana energy. We know the apana energy is low here in the belly, the lower triangle, in the base, the pelvis, the base of the lungs. That's apana energy. This is prana in the heart. So this one pose helps work with that. You're going to kick the right leg straight back, point the toes, hold the leg up. So it's an even, kind of even with your pelvic region. Bring the belly towards the spine, engage the core. Then I'm going to bring my left hand forward. Palm can be down or thumb can be up. But you're working with both energy fields here. You have to work with your core, so you're working with that aponic energy. And every time you breathe in, you're filling the heart and lungs with new prana. Keep holding it. It takes effort, balance. Great job, everyone. Take it down. Shake out the legs. I like to pound them, wake them up. Then let's kick the left leg straight back. I'm pointing the toes, but the hips, the legs in line with my hip. Wonderful place to feel the energy, these winds, these vayus, because the belly drops on your inhale. Feeling that aponic energy, it's the energy of elimination. Eliminating what we no longer need. Now, once you pull the belly towards the spine, then you can take that right arm forward. If the belly and the core are engaged, it's much easier to hold your balance. Looking straight down at the mat, it gives you a nice cervical alignment with the rest of your spine. This is such a full body warm-up. If you had a short warm-up time, this would be an ideal posture. Just do this and then start your Kriya. And take the hand down, take the foot down. Let's take the knees wide and come into a child's pose. Balasana in Sanskrit. Take the forehead to the mat. Just release into the pose. The longer you stay here, you'll feel more fascia begin to release. Maybe you can inch, millimeter at a time. Try to inch the fingers forward to the top of your mat. You're stretching out your shoulder sockets. Your sixth sense, your sixth chakra, your spiritual eye is on the mat. More important than ever to keep that internal guidance system to be open to the frequency, so you're hearing your own internal messaging, whether it comes in dreams or moments of insight or even a physical response to do something. Try inching the fingers to the left. You'll open up the right intercostals between the ribs. Try to keep the buttocks close to the heels if you can, so the pelvis stays in alignment. You're just stretching the right ribs. And then take the fingers back to center and take them to the right, just inching over 1 millimeter at a time. Try to keep the head on the mat. You'll feel that stretching. Feels so good. And then slowly you can bring the knees together and you'll come up to a seated position. If Thunderbolt isn't easy for you, then stay in easy pose. I like to put a blanket between my, on top of my feet. So let's interlace the fingers. Try it both ways. This way I have the left thumb towards me, or I can go the other way with the right thumb towards me. If the right thumb is closest to my body, that's back to those 2 meridian points, the webbing of the thumb. So my left thumb pushes into the webbing of my right hand, and then my index finger pushes into the webbing of my left hand. Those are 2 really strong meridian points in acupressure. So just being conscious, if you're ever in a posture or you're meditating, just go into this position and experiment pushing on those meridian points. For this posture, we just keep our hands in this Venus mudra, either way, locked either way, right front, thumb forward. One way usually feels more comfortable than another. It used to be taught in Kundalini Yoga, the male and female energy. But now that we know that gender is more fluid, there's less teaching about the strictness of masculine or feminine. We have both energies, we know, in our body. So we allow people to just take the posture that feels right for them. This used to be the feminine energy with the left thumb on top. That's what was always more comfortable for me. So I thought, well, I must be more in tune with my feminine energy. The masculine energy is the right thumb on top. Okay, this pose, we've done it all this week. It works with the heart center. So I inhale out, then I hold my breath and I come up 3 times with the suspended breath. I come down, then I exhale back to the heart. We'll do this for 2 minutes. Let me set my timer here, and here we go. I'll add a little music. Okay, you can follow along with me or do it on your own. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. Inhale. 1, 2, 3. Exhale. We'll do these on our own now. exhale, take it back. Let your mudra just rest on your heart, connect with your heart energy. You can feel your heartbeat. Now we do a similar pose, but with 10 pumps. Try to do 10 pumps on the suspended breath. So it's inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and exhale back to the chest. Do these for 1 more minute. Rest with the mudra on your chest, right on your heart chakra. Close your eyes, connect with that part of your body. Now come onto your backs. We do long, deep breathing here. This is the posture where we just hold one leg up in the air, about 2 feet above the floor. I interlace my fingers, put them behind my neck. So the elbows are open. Prepare to just lift the leg up, long, deep breathing, about 2 feet. You can keep the head on the mat. Try to not grip in the pelvis. Feel both sits bones on the mat. The first minute is fairly easy, then it gets more challenging. Point the toes of the lifted foot and flex the toes back of the left foot. So the right foot, toes are pointed, plantar flexion, left foot, dorsiflexion. So you're working the muscles of opposite legs, pulling in different ways. One more minute. Everybody looks great. Try to minimize movement. Engage your core. You may feel the lumbar spine make contact with the mat depending on the degree of your... I have a lot of lordosis or a lot of sway back, and even with that, I can still feel the mat under my lumbar. 10 more seconds. And slowly take it down. Just stretch both legs, make the right leg longer than the left, make the left leg longer than the right. You're just pivoting your pelvis. Interesting feel how the pelvis can shift. It's rotating. Okay, let's prepare for the other side. So let's lift the left leg, point the toes, of the left foot, dorsiflex, or pull the toes right, pull them back of the right foot. 2 minutes. Can your elbows touch the mat? Can you try to keep your arms as wide open as you can? You've got the Venus Mudra under your head, fingers interlaced. Long, deep breathing. Really begin to work the lungs, because the next posture is alternate nostril breath. So we want to have our lungs really warmed up and ready to go. Just 1 more minute. Lying on your back gives you a great opportunity to feel your diaphragm more fully. On those big inhales, you feel it expand and drop. And slowly take the leg down. Then you can just draw the knees in towards the chest, roll over onto your left side, and roll right over onto all fours. Preparing your blankets, whatever you might be sitting on. It's always great to raise the pelvis unless you're completely comfortable sitting flat on your mat with no lift. But usually this lift helps release the lower lumbar spine, so it's easier to sit taller. Okay, alternate nostril breath, Nadi Shodhana, a very, very old ancient pranayama. We hold our hands a little differently in this one. There are multiple ways to do it. Thumb is on the right nostril, index finger is on the left. So we're closing off the right nostril, and we're breathing for 2 minutes, inhaling, exhaling only through the left side. Left hand can be just palm down on your knee, closed circuit. You're doing a manual override of your autonomic nervous system. We're breathed every 15 to 20 minutes. The brain changes the dominant side of our breath. We breathe left, then we breathe right. It just goes back and forth. One side will feel more open than the other. So perhaps this left side right now is your dominant side, so it'll feel more open. If it's not your dominant side, then you just have to breathe with a little more effort. Now take the index finger, close off the left, and begin breathing. Inhale, exhale only through the right, 2 minutes. Strive to make the inhales as long as possible, really filling every microscopic space of your lungs, all those alveoli, those little tiny air sacs. You're filling every one of them. Then the exhale is long and measured by using your core. Your core, you use that muscle to slowly release the air, slowly pulling the navel towards the spine. Take the hand down, both hands on the knees, and just breathe through both nostrils now. 30 seconds. Now take the right thumb up to the right nostril. We'll do alternate nostril now. So you're going to inhale left, exhale right. Inhale left. Close off the left with the index, exhale right. Close up the right, inhale left. That's your pattern. 2 minutes. Long inhales, long exhales. Now reverse. Close off the left. You're going to inhale right, exhale left. So inhale right. Close off the right with the thumb, exhale left. Close off the left with the index. Inhale right. 2 minutes. Make those inhales as long as possible, then make the exhales just slowly let the air out, just a little bit at a time. And take the hand down, just breathe luxuriously through both nostrils for 1 minute. Visualize your spine being open, energies moving freely, easily up and down the spinal column, up and down the Sushumna. There are two main energy channels. The left nose is called the Ida channel. It comes up from the root, the spine. The right side is called the Pingala, the Ida and the Pingala. I'll send you a picture. Do you have a sense of your breath through each nostril now? Can you identify it? Can you identify if one nostril is more open than the other? Right now, my left side, my Ida channel, IDA, is more open. What is more open for you? Or maybe both are equally balanced. Okay, we lie onto our backs for a stretch pose. We do breath of fire here for 1 minute, so it's a little challenging. In this pose, I'll lift my feet, point my toes up 1 foot. I'll raise my shoulders and my head to look at my feet, and I'll also lift my arms so the palms are face down. So when I give the go, we'll go for 60 seconds, breath of fire, the forced exhale through the nose. Let's begin. We're at 30 seconds. You can do it. 30 seconds more. Last 10 seconds. And draw the knees in towards the forehead towards the knees. Maybe you can interlace the knees, take them into the creases of the elbows. So you're snug really tight here. Now we resume breath of fire for 1 minute. If it gets too difficult, just drop out. You can always come back in and begin. The diaphragm is compressed, so it makes it a little more challenging. Halfway there. Keep going, last 10 seconds. You're really exiting all that old stale air from the night and release. Maybe you can get a little bit of a roll going and you just roll right up to a seated position. Another stretch pose, life nerve stretch, also called Paschimottanasana in Hatha Yoga. So I'm just massaging my legs here, opening up my back. This is long, deep breathing for 2 minutes. So once everything's opened up, I bend my knees. Maybe I can grab my toes, peace sign fingers. Thumb is in the nail bed of my big toe. So there's a pressure point in the skin right before the nail bed where the toenail grows in. There's a pressure point you can push there. It's supposed to correspond with blood pressure. Long, deep breathing. Maybe the fascia will begin to release and my legs will get a little straighter, but no forcing. It's organic. It just releases when it wants to release. I'm striving to bring my forehead closer to my knees, striving to get the elbows a little closer to the mat. You'll feel the lumbar release, thoracic, hamstrings, of course, and calves. 1 minute, halfway there. Enjoy the stretch. Everybody looks great. You're very mindfully in your stretch. Your yin pose, yin yoga. Can you feel more letting go? Ask the muscles to release. They are under your volitional control. Fascia is not. Okay, our last pose before our 6 or 7 minute Shavasana in the middle of the practice. So you're going to lie back. This is a modified stretch pose. So I get to keep my feet on the mat this time. So I just lift my shoulders and face up, looking at my feet, point my toes. My hands are right at my side, palms down. And I begin breath of fire for 1 minute. Let me set my clock here. And let's begin. Breath of fire. Give it your all because you're going to move into a Shavasana. You really feel your diaphragm working on this breath of fire. Halfway there. Stay with it. Really cleaning out your lungs. And lay back. Let the palms float towards the ceiling. Feet just shift open. 7 minutes in Shavasana. Corpse pose. Let everything go. Slowly turn over to your left side. Draw the knees in towards the chest so you're in this fetal position in the state of pratyahara, that deep state of being within. You can use your hands as a pillow. Bring to mind whatever first comes to mind for whatever you're most grateful. Letting that sense of gratitude fill every cell in your body. You're just vibrating gratitude. You become an essence of gratitude. It's not just for one thing, it's for everything. You can use the palm of your left hand to bring yourself back up to a seated position. Thunderbolt is called for, Vajrasana, but you can also move to easy pose. So try to stay in this, close your eyes, stay in this inner state. Then we begin spinal flexes. It's the same as cat-cows. So you're coming forward in a cow and going back in a cat. So when you're extending back, you're really conscious of that rounded spine of cat pose, drawing the belly towards the spine. As you're coming forward in the cow, you're trying to bring the belly forward. Now add breath of fire. So the forced inhale, exhale through the nose. It's a little challenging because you're moving, so it becomes a neuromuscular activity. The spinal column is moving. While you're doing breath of fire, you're pumping Kundalini energy up and down the spinal column for health, well-being, equanimity, balance, harmony, patience, kindness. Halfway there, stay with it. Keep your eyes closed so you stay within. Last 30 seconds. Big inhale. Hold the breath. I'm coming forward into my cow. Hold the breath. Squeeze the bandhas. Create that hypoxia to the brain with holding the breath and release. We stay in Vajrasana, moving to Sat Kriya. The hands come together in palm, or you can do a steeplechase mudra. Sometimes that's easier. Holding it over my head, I have something to grab onto. Powerful Kriya now, 2 minutes. Inhaling Sat, I pull the belly in. It's the opposite of our normal breath pattern. Exhale Nam, the belly goes soft. Begin. Sat Nam, 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 Sat Nam. Inhale Sat. Squeeze the arms to the ears, point the toes, try to stretch the fingertips, to the ceiling. Yes, and you can point your toes and pull the navel towards the spine. And release. Coming back into easy pose. Our last movement before the meditation. We're being prepared for this meditation. Shoulder shrugs, very easy shoulder shrugs with breath of fire for 2 minutes. So I get my shoulder shrugs going, then I add my breath of fire. Your lungs start to feel like a bellows. You're just inhaling, exhaling through the nose. The diaphragm is dropping and expanding. It's really working the diaphragm. It's like taking it to the gym. One more minute. Okay, inhale, both shoulders up and squeeze the bandhas and retain, suspend the air. So I'm squeezing my bandhas, holding the air, both shoulders lifted. Hypoxia to the brain, new neural pathways lighting up, and release. Now make sure you're comfortable. We're moving into a 6-minute meditation. You've been prepared for this with your breath work, with your movement. Maybe you need a drink of water. I'll ask you some questions to contemplate. Hands can be down, closed onto the knees, so it's a closed circuit. Spine is really tall, elongated. The back of my head is over my lumbar spine, helps me lift my heart. First question to contemplate: who am I? Who am I really? Beyond the physical body, who am I? Beyond my personality, who am I? What breathes you? What is my prana? How do I use my life force, this prana, this life force? How do I use it for good? The last minute, continue to contemplate, who am I? Bringing your hands to prayer position, thumbs rest lightly on the sternum, palms pressing into each other, gently making contact with the heart. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Ann Lindsay. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Melanie. Thank you, Roberta. Thank you, Margaret. And anyone tuning in virtually in the future, we cross the time-space continuum, and we all thank you for being here as well. We close with the longtime sun, our prayer of protection. So please sing with me. May the longtime sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on, guide your way on, guide your way on. Satnam, Satnam, Satnam. We bow to each other and we say Satnam.